Hey everyone, my name's Sean and I'm taking over for Dan while he's away. Faker has a brand new build he's been playing on the buffed Annie that you need to try. With Demonic Embrace nerfed this patch, it's opened up a new Udyr build that's looking insanely strong. This and so much more as we break down 10 of the best new Korean builds for patch 13.4. But before we get into it, be sure to check out Skill Capped if you truly want to get better at League of Legends. We're the only service that offers a money-back guarantee if you don't climb at least 5 divisions while actively using our service. We do this because our service really does work, and if it doesn't work for you, you shouldn't pay. Learn more at the end of this video or click the link in the description below. T1 top laner Zeus has been running a very interesting setup on his Sejuani. Top lane Tej has always been played with a pure tank build in the past, but Zeus is spicing things up and building more offensive. Rod of Ages is the rush item and you go into Demonic Embrace second. Rod of Ages and Demonic Embrace synergize really well together because Demonic converts health into ability power. Rod offers 600 health at max stacks and Demonic has 350, so you're getting good value out of that Demonic passive. Not only are you going to be dealing more damage due to all the ability power, but Sejuani's W scales off health as well. You'll be relatively tanky with this setup, but have much stronger kill threat on your own. Sej is a champion that thrives off finding catch plays with ultimate, and by building this core, you're able to burst a target out and capitalize on those catch plays way better. Optimal rune page consists of Grasp with Demolish, Second Wind, and Revitalize. Run Biscuits and Cosmic Insight for secondaries. All of a sudden, one of the most played top laners by pro players in solo queue is Lee Sin. Most notably, Zeus has been the one spamming Lee top the most. Lee was just buffed in 13.3 as the AD ratio on his Q was increased and his E now scales off total AD. This has made a more offensive Lee Sin build really strong, and he's seeing way more success with an Eclipse Rush than Gore Drinker. Eclipse into Black Cleaver second is the 2-item core, and with Cleaver recently buffed, it's another reason for Lee's spike in power. Lee is actually one of the few top laners that's finding good success into Gangplank right now. Jax is one matchup given many Lee players issues, but with Jax nerfed for 13.4, it's a nice indirect buff to Lee top. Rune page you want to run consists of Conqueror with Triumph, Alacrity, and Last Stand. Demolish and Second Wind are the way to go for secondaries. A new Master Yi build has been on the rise over the past patch, consisting of Navori Quick Blades as a core purchase. Quick Blades currently has the highest win rate for any second purchase on Master Yi, but only about 5% of players are running the item. The reason Quick Blades perform so well on Yi is due to how often you'll be able to spam out Q in skirmishes. You're missing out on quite a bit of attack speed by not building Rage Blade, but the build makes up for that with its superior upfront damage and slipperiness. Let's dive into Practice Tool and compare builds to get a better understanding of Quick Blade's power. In this first clip, we have a Master Yi with Kraken and Blade of the Ruined King, a standard 2-item core. After using Q, you can then weave in 10 auto attacks before your next Q comes off cooldown, which is quite a long time. In this second clip, we have Master Yi with Kraken and Quick Blades. Instead of 10 auto attacks, Quick Blades slices that in half as you only need 5 autos after using Q to have the spell back up and ready to use. You're literally able to get 2 Qs off by going Quick Blades in the same amount of time you'd only be getting 1 from going Blade of the Ruined King. Rune page to run on Yi is Lethal Tempo with Triumph, Alacrity, and Coup de Grace. Eyeball Collection and Treasure Hunter are for secondaries. The Koreans have been pulling out a new Bruiser build for Udyr, and it's going to be even stronger now in 13.4 with Demonic Embrace nerfed. Rush item is Black Cleaver, you go into Blade of the Ruined King second, and transition into Tank with Jackshow third. Even prior to the Demonic nerfs, Black Cleaver has been winning more as a rush item on Udyr, so definitely be looking to try it out this patch if you're an Udyr player. This build works extremely well with a Q max as you have so much consistent DPS power. The 30 ability haste from Black Cleaver puts Udyr Q on a very short cooldown, and since Udyr's Q provides attack speed, you're able to stack up the Cleaver armor shred very quick. The one downside to rushing Black Cleaver is that it doesn't provide any attack speed, so to make up for that, you can run Lethal Tempo as the keystone instead of Conqueror. Lethal Tempo at max stacks along with Black Cleaver is such a deadly combination and allows Udyr to absolutely melt in extended fights while also being quite durable at the same time. As mentioned during the intro, Faker has been playing some Annie in solo queue and has a different build than what most players are using. Ludens and Liandry's are by far the most purchased mythic items for Annie, but Faker has been spamming Rod of Ages. One of the perks to going Rod over Ludens is that it provides Annie with some added durability. Ludens into Shadow Flame offers strong one-shot power, but it also leaves you very vulnerable. Annie, being a shorter ranged mage, needs to be up close to be effective, so the health from Rod helps her stick around in fights and skirmish just a little bit better. In games where the enemy comp has a few tankier champions that you won't be able to one-shot very easily, going Rod over Ludens and giving yourself better extended fight power is great. Vice versa though, into a full squishy enemy comp, Ludens is still a great pickup. Faker also has a unique adaptation to the rune page that's completely different than your standard Annie. Most Annies are going Electrocute, but Faker has been running First Strike. Due to Annie's point-and-click Q, it's very easy to consistently proc First Strike in melee matchups. First Strike also synergizes very well with Rod of Ages because the added gold you acquire will help you complete Rod faster to getting it stacking and spike earlier on. One mid laner flying heavily under the radar that's being spammed by pro players in solo queue is Tristana. Chovy has been abusing some Trist mid and has a new build you need to try. In the past, Hail of Blades was always the most common keystone for Trist mid, but that's no longer the case. Reason being is because we're seeing a very heavy AD stack build being prioritized now. With Infinity Edge and Quick Blades buffed, both are really strong second items for Trist. Bloodthirster is also an amazing third purchase and what Chovy has been running on his Tristana mid. Since you're skipping out on an attack speed item like Phantom Dancer, you're going to prioritize Lethal Tempo as the keystone over Hail of Blades. The recent buffs to Overheal have made the rune a really great pickup as well in combination with Bloodline. The Overheal shield in tandem with the Bloodthirster shield makes Tristana very difficult to take down later in the game. A new Draven build has been on the rise over the past patch consisting of Bloodthirster as the rush item. BT is currently winning about 2% more than Essence Reaver. You're actually going to completely bypass building Essence Reaver with this build and go with a no mythic 2-item core. BT is the rush, and Infinity Edge is slotted in second. As for your third purchase, Kraken Slayer or Immortal Shield Bow are both viable options. Into tankier comps with less burst threat, side with Kraken. Into squishier comps that have easy backline access, go Shield Bow for more survivability. Since you're not getting any attack speed at all from your first two items, it's vital to run Lethal Tempo as the keystone rune. Overheal is also really strong with this setup as the lifesteal from Bloodthirster will allow you to easily convert excess healing into the shield. This new Korean Jhin build is actually hilarious as it's a Kraken rush into Phantom Dancer second and Fire Cannon third. Alright, so hold up a second. In what world is stacking attack speed a viable strategy on Jhin? Well, there's a few different reasons. First is that even though Jhin's autos don't scale with attack speed you buy is converted into AD and movement speed. What makes this build so powerful is how much movement speed you're able to stack. Let's use another practice tool demonstration to give a clear picture. With the standard Gale Force, Infinity Edge, and Fire Cannon build, Jhin will receive 37% movement speed when he crits. As we can see here, a 4th shot crit provides Jhin with 558 movement speed. Now let's have a look at the Korean build. Kraken with Phantom Dancer and Fire Cannon will provide you with 57% movement speed on crits. A 4th shot has Jhin clocking in at 616 movement speed. This is just absolutely ridiculous and provides Jhin with a ludicrous amount of kiting power. Now what about the damage though? How do the builds compare? Infinity Edge will be heavily outclassing in that regard. As we can see, with 4 auto attacks and 3 of them critting, you deal over 3,000 damage. When we take a look at the Phantom Dancer build, with 4 autos, 3 of them critting, you deal a bit over 2.6 thousand damage. So, is the added movement speed and kiting power worth the drop off in damage? That's for you to decide. Both setups are performing near equally stat-wise, so there isn't a clear picture as to which build is definitely better. Although many Western Senna players enjoy using a more offensive, squishy build, the Koreans are finding great success with a more durable one. Heartsteel is the rush item, while Black Cleaver is slotted in second. Black Cleaver has been performing insanely well on Senna ever since it was buffed. No second item even comes close to matching the win rate of Black Cleaver on Senna. You also have to take into account that Umbral Glaive was just recently nerfed, which indirectly buffs this tanky build. Senna, being a champion that receives bonus stats from her souls, is able to go for these more durable builds but still deal respectable damage. The rune page consists of fleet footwork with presence of mind, alacrity, and cut down. Grab biscuits and approach velocity for secondaries. Braum is back in a pretty decent spot after his 13.3 buffs, and he'd be even stronger if more people were rushing Radiant Virtue. The recent changes to Radiant, where its max health was increased, is amazing for Braum. This is because Braum's Q damage scales off 2.5% of his maximum health. Braum has always been one of the best skirmishing supports in the game, and the power you receive from proccing the Radiant Virtue passive makes it even deadlier. The last few patches have been trending in Braum's favor as well, with range supports being nerfed in 13.4, Yuumi recently nerfed, and more melee supports coming back into the meta. Braum hates playing into double range bot lanes, as his lane presence becomes super weak. Into a melee support like Not or Blitz though, Braum does insanely well, as his durability hard counters their pick power. If you're looking for a new support to add to your repertoire, then Radiant Virtue Braum is a great option for 13.4. Alright guys, before we wrap this up, let's tell you a little bit more about Skill Cap. So we offer a 5-division rank up guarantee, and we think that's a pretty crazy thing to offer. It's kind of like a gym membership guaranteeing you'll get ripped. Your local gym would just go bust if they offered that, right? Well, not us. We've offered this for years because our service really does work. It works so well, in fact, that we're able to produce by far the largest catalog of premium league guides on the internet. We add over 20 videos a week, with over 2,000 guides, curated into 270 courses. No one can compare. We've also sent Challenger players into ELO Hell 1,100 times and counting, where they commentate how to carry live. They also respond to all questions asked. Sign up today for as little as $6.99 a month if you're serious about improving. So there you have it, guys. 10 of the best new Korean builds for patch 13.4. Thank you all so much for watching. Good luck in solo queue, and we'll see you in the next one.